The gym.
The gym? No, this one in the corner.
The gym.
She
That's
said,
what I mean.
She said this was hiding over here, and I'm like, the gym. That's why I don't know. I just wear my faja. That's it. I eat Nutella and ice cream and wear faja, and that's my gym.
I mean, I feel like we relate on the same thing as what we don't prioritize. Thank you. Cheers to that. Cheers to being in a pickle.
That happened. I was like, this is what sex is?
Right.
Shit, I want to keep doing this shit. This shit's wavy.
Yeah.
But like in the movie, basically, like since like once she had sex, like that was it, like that's all she wanted to do. Like she was addicted. She would leave her kids to go have sex. That's how true it is. The camera's like, damn, bitch. Yo, I'm dead.
Like,
Yeah, my name is Jocelyn, but everyone calls me Joss.
My name is Vinny.
No,
Everybody calls me Vin. Hi. Today we're having a wind down about sex and priorities.
Yes.
So I feel like we could start with the priorities topic.
Yeah, let's start with priorities first. We're not gonna get too juicy yet.
So what are some of your priorities?
Priorities? I would say work is a priority. Making time for myself is a priority. Making time for family, you know, having, I guess, just a positive space around me is super important to me. If I feel like something's off, then I have to switch things up. But yeah, just positivity is really important to me, and I really like to prioritize that. How about you?
Like you said, family, work. I like to think more like I prioritize like my spiritual self. Like I prioritize my mind, you know. Like basically when I say I prioritize my mind, I prioritize the way I think, the way I feel, the way I react to things. You know, I feel like it's that's something very important to prioritize. Some people just, you know, they speak before they think. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, when you prioritize your mind, you think before you speak. So I feel like that's an important factor to me. Also work, prioritizing work. I mean, you know, we all like, you know, a lot of people are working to just like
stay alive.
Exactly, to survive, to reach ends meet, but you know, you have to prioritize that. You know, you do need like food in your belly. You do need a place to stay. Like even like just doing activities, like you need to have a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like you working and you prioritizing work helps you do all these things. You know, like if you want something nice and you can't afford it at the moment, but you know you could finance it. You know, and you're working towards those bills. Or you know, if you know like in everyday aspects. You know, like if you're hungry, like you want to go get something to eat, you need to prioritize work because that's where your money's coming from. So it's like prioritizing money and work, like that's one of the biggest like priorities for me, and also family as well.
For work, do you feel like you were saying, you know, a lot of people work to stay alive. Do you feel like you work too much?
I feel like I work just enough.
Okay.
I feel like I could work more, and I feel like I could work less.
Okay.
So I feel like I work just enough. You know, I have a good work balance. You know, I reach my 40 hours. Sometimes I make less, sometimes I make more, but I like that average work. Some people, they work 50, 60 hours, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, because they don't mind it, but in a way, there is a such thing as like too much work or too little work, and that's why you need to prioritize work. You need to, you know, make sure that you're not overworking yourself, but also you're not underworking yourself as well, doing anything. Is there anything that you feel like you don't prioritize?
I gotta think. What don't I prioritize? I don't know.
The gym.
The gym? No, this one in the corner.
The gym.
She
That's
said,
what I mean.
She said this was hiding over here, and I'm like, the gym. That's why I don't know.
prioritize the gym? How do you feel like you don't prioritize the gym?
Oh, by the way, this is our special guest, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
So, I just wear my faja. That's it. I eat Nutella and ice cream and wear faja, and that's my gym.
I mean, I feel like we relate on the same thing as what we don't prioritize. Thank you. I feel like we tune into the, you know, that's why we're here. We're sharing opinions.
But you used to be heavy in the gym, so what? Why?
Oh, I was recording. You're not talking to me. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what happened was life hit me, smacked me in the face, and then now I'm here. 10 pounds heavier.
10 pounds heavier. Well, you don't look 10 pounds heavier.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, I got it all sucked in.
No, but she was basically agreeing with me. She doesn't prioritize her health. She doesn't prioritize her body.
That's hard. I mean, I wasn't before either, but now I'm starting to get back into it because I realize it is important, and I do want to feel.
It could be anything. You're trying to think of something you don't prioritize. It could be what you do in the day. Like you don't prioritize something other than the other, or you know.
With me, I feel like it's on and on and off. Like it's not a consistent thing that I don't prioritize. So if it's like making time for myself, like I won't prioritize
Sometimes
it.
you don't prioritize it.
Or seeing family, like I don't prioritize it.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things. Like going to see family or going to people's homes. Like I don't prioritize that.
I agree with you with that, and I have a big problem with that. I don't prioritize like spending time with family. No, lately I've been spending time like with my siblings, with my immediate family, and it's making me be more grateful that I have a family. I feel like I'm always working. I feel like I'm always trying to make ends meet, and then like when I sit there and I like prioritize time with family, it feels good, because these are people that they will have your back no matter what. So I can agree with you on that, on like not prioritizing spending time with family. And I know you're very busy. I know that you work, you do your own thing, so I know that you if you're saying you don't really prioritize family, I can see that.
It. Right. It's like a really big thing though when it
time
comes
is
to
a man-made conception.
Yeah, stop. I had this conversation with somebody a while ago, and they were like, "What is time? Like, is it really that like?"
That's why I have a hard time prioritizing time, because I feel like time is like a man-made concept. Like it's like, I feel like things that happened years ago, I feel like it happened yesterday. So it kind of bothers me because it's like, why do I feel like it happened yesterday? Written down technically it was years ago. So it's like it kind of like whatever, we have our brains like carry memory, they produce memory, but it also like bothers me, like why do I feel like something that happened years ago, I feel like I lived it just yesterday. It kind of doesn't sit well with
I
me.
get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. Whether it sounds weird or not, it's like, to me, it's...
that's your mind.
It's like, why, and that's just me, again, prioritizing my mind. I'm all in my mind, like, I could sit here and not say a word, but I'm thinking a million. Like, and I feel like I prioritize my mind more than my body. And it's like, it's not really healthy.
For money, that's like a really big
priority
topic,
for a lot of people,
and everyone can relate to that. Do you feel like when prioritizing money, I mean being smart with your money, like saving, or putting money to the side, or you just splurging and buying
I don't
stuff that you
prioritize
don't
money.
need? No.
I prioritize making money, but I don't prioritize saving money. And there's a huge difference. So it's like you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not really saving it, then you're not really building a platform. You're just every week you're starting new. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're just, I seen also a post on Facebook. It says like my I'll get paid next week attitude is really like overwhelming, because it's like you're like, whatever, I'll just get paid next week, and then you're just gonna live your life just for next week, next week you're not really building a platform. So you're just really, you're good for the week, but you start at zero every week, and you shouldn't.
That's where I was too, and now I feel like I'm really prioritizing saving, and like you know, being smart with my money because I was so tired of just like, oh, I don't have money in my account. Like it's like, and it's like it happens. It's life. You have bills. You have stuff you need to pay for. But like, you have to save money. Like put 10%, 7% of what you're making. You're paying for yourself. It's prioritizing your future. For me, that's me for my future. Right now, me putting $40 into my savings isn't helping me right now. Like I can use that 40, but
it
in
will
the future,
in
a year, my savings is gonna be like
exactly
overflowing, and I probably won't even need it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You have to think that way, and so now that's
because you're still saying fuck it, I'll get paid next week, but you also have a lump sum being saved every week,
and not touching it because that was my thing. Like I'll have it, but then I'll still
and
like take the money. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I can use it. No, now I don't even look at it. Like I'm so shocked at myself how disciplined I am, because I'm just like, okay, it's fine. I found like
and that's another priority, prioritizing discipline.
Yeah.
Like knowing when to discipline yourself, like knowing when something's not okay to do or knowing when something is okay to do. And I feel a lot of people don't prioritize discipline. You know, they just say whatever they want, they do whatever they want, you know, and it's like that's a big factor. And it's also I would like to talk about like prioritizing love as well. Do you prioritize love?
Lately, no.
No,
Because for me right now, that's not helping my future.
But when I say prioritizing love, I don't mean like in a relationship only.
Okay. So
I mean
in general.
I mean loving family, loving yourself, loving another person, loving your friends. You know, that's what I'm really tuning into. Not really specifically in a relationship, but in like a whole factor.
Then I do. I love love.
I love love.
I do.
How do you prioritize love?
For me, what do you mean? Like, how do I show it, or how do I like? I don't know. I guess I check in with people. For self-love, like
it's simple as that. It's simple as.
Yeah. I check in with people. I always want to make sure you're okay. Like I like to be positive around people too. Even if I'm having like a shitty day, I want you to feel good. Like I want you to be like, no. Like I'll put that aside and like, okay, we're gonna have a great day. Like everything's gonna be perfect.
No, yeah, that was really what like the answer I was going for.
Right.
Like, you know, when you prioritize love, it's like not only in yourself but in other people. Like you want other people to know that they're loved.
Right.
You know, you want to show just you asking, oh, how are you today, or oh, did you eat, or you know, how are you feeling, or you know, like or even just asking, what are you doing later? Let's hang out. Like that's you prioritizing that you know you have love for another person, that you care for another person.
Yeah. For goals.
Do you prioritize goals?
I try to, but I'm a big procrastinator, and I like I'll start something and then I don't finish it, and that's something I'm really like trying to like be disciplined with.
You feel like, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
You feel like you don't really prioritize your goals only because you may feel like, you know, this is my goal, but I can start tomorrow.
Yeah.
I could start whether you work towards it today.
Right.
Tomorrow you won't work as much towards it. So I feel like that's what you're trying to say. You don't really prioritize goals.
Yeah, like it gets me frustrated.
And it gets you in a pickle.
It gets me in a pickle. Yeah, in a pickle. I'm weak.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
to being in a pickle.
I'm weak. Okay, awesome.
Alright, so this is our part 2 of our sex and priorities topic.
Yes.
So last week we tuned in more into the priorities. So this week we did a part 2 so we could tune into the sex topic.
Yes.
And
because sex is just amazing and you need a whole
separate segment for sex.
In order to have a talk about sex. And we have a special guest, Steven.
Yeah. What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
He says that he loves talking about sex, so.
And I don't, so this is a good challenge for me because I'm not very open about sex.
Yeah.
So to me, sex is like a tricky topic to get into. Like growing up, I wasn't really open like about talking about sex. Like I would hang out with the guys on the block and they'd be talking about sex this, sex that, and I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Like to the point where they'll find it a little weird that I wasn't so, but I wasn't really open about like my sex life and anything. I mean, the first time I probably had sex, I think I was like 16, so I didn't start early. Like there's people who started way early. I don't know when you guys started. When did you?
Same time. 16.
Same time? How about you?
Yes, around the same time.
Right, that's a normal time to start. It's a normal time to start.
I was in high school. I was in the 8th grade, but
so you weren't 16. So you.
No, I was. Remember, I'm a year held back, so I'm.
Okay, because you probably were.
The difference with me was when that started, like the whole transition of me like having sex, that like opened my eyes. I'm like, all I thought about was that at one point. At one point, my whole freshman and sophomore year, I was thinking about, damn, she look good. Do you think she let me smash? Like it was, I would be in class, like, I think.
But let me ask you this: did you think about sex so much because of the people around you and the people who you would surround yourself with? Like, were you influenced to only like to think about sex, or was that just a personal factor?
Nah, it was personal. Like once I like lost my virginity and everything, I was like, yo, like this is cool. Like after I lost my virginity, I started jerking off. I started watching porn. Like I started doing all that stuff.
After you
yeah, it was after I lost my virginity, because before that I was like I wasn't into stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Like I was more like I was confused about the whole situation, and it hit me by shock. Like I was talking to a girl, and she told me, and we were talking about that, and then she told me like straight up, like I want to take a virginity. I was like, what was that?
Right.
I was confused. I didn't know what to expect of that. I was scared about it. But once that happened, I was like, this is what sex is?
Right.
Shit, I want to keep doing this shit. This shit's wavy.
Yeah. No, I mean, but you see how you're more open to talk about it. But what I was trying to tell you before is like, I guess I feel like people feel pressured to engage in like sexual talk or sexual activity because of the people around them. So it's like if you hang around.
The environment.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if me, I feel like I was like, I like growing up, I wasn't really like so much into the sex talk. Like I grew up with my cousins, like my guy cousins, and they'd be talking about how many girls they banged or what they did yesterday, tomorrow, whatever. But and it's just like I would always hold back.
Right.
And although I was a little younger than them anyway, but growing up I wasn't really like too much into like the sexual thinking like Steven was.
Oh, I started.
But he says he started masturbating after the virginity, but I used to do it before.
Right, me too.
So it's like, but it's also a sense in like with sex. I feel like some people may think like it's okay with everybody, but I don't. I feel like sex is so much deeper.
No.
Like for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just have sex with anybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Okay. You're different.
Like you can have like one night stands and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that.
I don't think I can. I feel so guilty.
Really? Why?
I feel guilty because I don't know. I just feel like there's like one. I don't know the person.
Okay.
Two.
Yeah. Like, now it's getting
two.
real.
I feel it kind of gives me guilt because I feel like, what if the other person is not like? What if they don't really want to do it, but they're just doing it? Like I don't know. It just bothers. Like it bothers me. Like I want the other person to be as comfortable as I am. And it's like, that doesn't really come with somebody you met a few hours ago.
You like into like the whole like love shit and whatnot, like
of course.
Are you okay with like, not having sex but making love with somebody?
Yeah. I like all things sex. I like to masturbate. I like to make love. I like to be with one person. I was with my ex for 4 years, just him. We had threesomes, so it's a little different.
Yeah, Josh is very open with
I'm very open. Yeah.
Relationship was there. It's interesting.
It was good. I mean, we're working on it. But
I don't blame you.
I was, having fun when we broke up, and it wasn't like I don't know. It was just something different, and I was okay with just it.
So
sex.
I don't want to interrupt you, but one of our viewers, Vilma Jasmine, she said, I've read before in this book that every soul you have sex with sticks around whether it's good or bad. Really? And I think it's true. What I feel like she's trying to say is every person you open up to sexually leaves a part of themselves in you, or you and them.
That's a fact.
And it's genetically proven that people do leave their DNA in you. Like obviously if you have sexual intercourse without safety, without a condom, like they leave DNA inside you. So Well, she's saying more in like the spiritual way,
but you're
but
saying
like the
scientifically.
scientifically, like people do leave their DNA in you.
Right, of course.
Like, so I feel like that was a good.
I like that.
That was a good statement. And just hold on to. I don't want to cut you off, but it has to do with what you said. One of the viewers, Sour Diesel Eye, said you learn something new with every person you have sex with.
Yes,
so I feel like this is what Steven is saying right now.
Like after me and her had sex the first time, it's like it opened up to us. Like we were able to talk to each other more, not just like more than before. It was just like we were more comfortable with each other.
Because I feel like sex is vulnerable. Like you have to. It's a vulnerable.
You give all of you,
your
body that you cover every day. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and it's just like you're putting someone inside or
exactly things that you're very sensitive about. Things that you like. You know, you don't want people to see your nude body. You know, and it's like people have a hard time getting naked with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like some people still have sex with their clothes on because they don't want to, you know, half on obviously, but they don't want to open up that much to somebody. And I feel like that's more of like a one night stand. But like when you get to know the person, I feel like you'll be more open to have sex completely naked. You know? You'll be more open to sit there and lay with a person after sex instead of like feeling like, oh, I have to get up and go. Yeah.
Like,
you know?
To me, the whole thing is like, if I'm having sex with somebody, it's not gonna be like, you know, oh cool, having sex and then, you know, whatever, we're done with. Like, we're having sex. Like, me personally, I've been always, and I still am to this day, I'm so insecure about myself. Okay. So it's like, if we're having sex, so we're having like, we're not just having sex. Like, it's not, you know, we're having sex and then you're gonna leave or I'm gonna leave. We're having sex, we're gonna cuddle, we're gonna lay down, we're gonna, you know, talk and everything. But it's like, I feel like some people, as men, I feel like we ruined that. Like, we've ruined, you know, sex that part because there's some men that, you know, and I probably could account to that. They know you leave this girl on and you say what you want to say and then you have sex with them and then you go ghost. You MIA, like you don't talk to them, like, and they so. Is it ever too early to have sex with somebody you're in a relationship with?
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm glad you brought this up because Vilma Jasmine has a question for us.
Yes, Vilma.
I love it.
She says, do you believe in the 90-day rule to wait before having sex?
I'm sorry, I'm too much.
I don't
like.
In a way, I see where she's coming and I kind of agree with it, but that doesn't mean that just because somebody has sex from the first day they met doesn't mean that they're not going to be together for years after that.
And you can wait 90 days and it's just like it was trash or you guys weren't in sync or something and then you just like not wasting 90 days, but it's like I mean to each of, you know, if you want to do that then go for it. I don't think it's bad, but I personally don't.
I'm glad she asked that because, you know, to me it's like me personally, I don't know if it's never too early to like have sex with somebody that you feel with. Because like if you feel like you're connected that way already, like if you're gonna have sex with somebody, to my opinion, I feel like you guys should be connected, you know, at least mentally and like emotionally, show how it is. Because after you have sex with somebody, you're basically connected with them spiritually also. It's like yo, like we laid together, we had sex, you know, and it's like I was inside you and like you opened up to me, you gave me more than, you know, than what you would give to somebody else. So I feel like sex sometimes plays a factor in that relationship, but it's never. Me personally, I don't feel like it's ever too early or like too late to have sex with somebody. Like if you prefer to wait, cool, you can wait, and that just makes the guy show where his mind's at.
Yeah, his intentions.
His intentions are just to have sex. It's like okay, cool. The 90-day rule. The 90 days is gonna show okay what's the intention, what's he want to do. If you just want to have sex and he wait 90 days, there's more than that. Right. But if he doesn't,
then he just wants to the next one.
Yeah. But if he just wants to have sex, he's not gonna hit you up. He's not gonna keep talking to you for 9 days. He's just gonna be, you know,
doing his
thing. Looking for somebody who's not waiting 90 days.
Exactly.
Some people need to have sex though, and that's the term nymphomaniacs. Nymphomaniacs are people who are addicted to having sex,
so I have
whether it's with themselves or somebody else.
Okay, see, that's what I was gonna ask because so with me, if I'm not having sex with someone else, I'm masturbating, and a lot. So I feel like with
you like the climax, you like the pleasure.
Listen,
whether it's with somebody else or yourself.
Right, but it's
and
like
there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, so I was having sex with my man, and recently, and we had sex, but then afterwards I was masturbating, And he's looking at me. He's like, I think you have a problem because we literally just finished and I kept going and I just wanted to keep going and keep going. When I'm alone and I'm masturbating, it's literally like a non-stop thing. Literally, I have to come like 5 or 6 times for me to be like, okay, now it's time for bed.
Oh my god.
What? Yeah.
But I mean, she likes sex.
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing.
But
sex is very healthy in somebody's life. It relieves stress.
But listen, so there was this movie that me and my man were watching the other day, and it was called Nymphomaniac on Netflix. Yeah, and I'm like, I hope I don't turn into that because she was like, I mean, I don't think I'm not to that extreme, but like in the movie, basically, like since like once she had sex, like that was like that's all she wanted to do. Like she was addicted. She would leave her kids to go have sex. That's how true it is. The camera's like, damn, bitch. Yo.
I'm dead. Like she's well, like.
This is the one. Switching. But like, that's not where I am at all. Never. That's not that much of a priority. But I feel like I enjoy it so much that I have to. I don't know. It's
like
just
I enjoy it a lot. It's the best thing ever because a lot of people just skip foreplay and just go straight to having sex, and it's like, yo, like.
No, in my experiences, I've had better climaxes with foreplay than without foreplay.
Right.
Yeah, like it plays.
I've had better.
Because it plays a factor. Because it's like, oh, you're really,
building tension.
Like you really love this. Like you really want this. Because if it's like you jump straight to having sex with somebody, all quick, no foreplay, no nothing. It's like, yo, like you think I'm just a body.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not just a body. Like. At the end of the day, you know, people have feelings. Like, I mean, I'm a sucker for all that stuff. Like, I'm a sucker for love, dude. So it's like, if I'm having sex with you, I'm expecting, you know, to talk to you throughout the day or like talk to you after that. But if you're gonna dub me after that, it's like, oh, so I was just a body to you. Like, I was just somebody to help you get.
Oh, this is a good thing.
Okay, so so talking about vibes, Velma Jasmine also has another question.
Velma.
I love it. Yo, Velma, you lit, baby, you lit. I love it.
Yes.
We almost missed it, but she says, what are signs that make you feel comfortable with having sex with someone? Like, what are like major key points? Like, yeah, I can have sex with this person.
I mean, I have to be attracted to you some way, somehow.
I agree.
I feel like the communication levels have to be there, whether we're gonna do this long term, short term, whatever it is, it has to be there. Respect levels have to be there too, because you're not gonna just like, I don't know, you're not gonna just come here because I'm not just it's not happening. And I have to feel comfortable with you. You have to do something. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe even a person.
And another thing, like I was saying before, trust.
Yeah, trust.
I feel like with me, like, you know, a sign is like I trust the person, you know? And it's hard to have sex with somebody that you trust.
And the person has to put effort.
You're not going to trust somebody from a day, like from just the day that you met them, you know?
So, like, what I mean by effort, I mean, like,
acts like your day is going.
Right, or like when you come through, like you come to me,
showing that
or
you
like
care.
you come with something like a bottle of wine, or you come like I don't know, or I meet you, and it's just like the effort is there. Like I can see that you really want this, and you really are trying. So it's like okay, like
yeah, why not?
It's
like,
there, but if you're just like I don't care, then we don't need to do that.
And you know what's the bad thing? You know what's the bad thing? That people sit there and then they sit there and they act as if they're trying. They act as if they care, and they're not. And then they get what they want, and then they bounce. So that's why
that's true.
For me, it's just trust. I feel
that's why now it's like for me personally, like having sex with somebody, like I'm okay with masturbating. Listen,
we're okay. We're all okay with masturbating.
Cheers
to masturbating.
Like I've been out of a relationship for what now? Almost like a couple. It's like what? 3 months, 4 months, and I'm okay with that. Like, cool. If sex presents itself, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with jumping the gun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's not a priority I think about. It's like I'm okay with masturbating. I don't want to have sex. It's like I'm at a point where I don't want to have sex with somebody and not lead to anything.
And I mean, with the whole masturbating thing, people are like, oh my god, ew, like you masturbate. Oh, but I was also reading about this. Wow. I was reading about everything. I was reading about this, and it's like masturbation is like the highest prevention in sexually transmitting diseases.
Of course.
100%.
Because you know you're obviously not gonna give yourself anything, so it's also not only is it a way to relieve stress, but it's a high factor in, you know, being safe and like diseases, you know. So it's like it's the highest preventer in sexually transmitted diseases.
Right.
It is.
So when people say, oh, like like they downplay masturbating, or they think it's something negative,
No,
but it's actually healthy. It's healthy for a person.
I think it helps you like figure out what you like and what you don't like too. That's why I enjoy it so much. Is because like I know what I like, I know what I don't like. So I'm having sex with somebody, I can tell you what I don't and do like, rather than you like trying to figure it out, and then it's just like not going anywhere.
To me, I find that if a girl is masturbating, I think that's a massive turn on. Cause it's like cool. You don't need a guy to please you. You can please yourself.
Right.
So if you meet somebody that does that, it's like cool. Like you do that. Like okay, I'm gonna learn from that. Like teach me how to please you.
But no, I did not wait 90 days.
Well, we waited maybe like under a month, a little under a month. We waited. But look at that. We waited. We waited less, and look at the outcome. We have a beautiful daughter now.
Right.
And this is now 3 years later.
Right. So
it was like so that day she brought it up like, oh, was it too early? I said no, it wasn't too early. It was like if you felt comfortable doing that with me, and I felt comfortable having that with you,
right.
Like look what it led to. We have a beautiful daughter together, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
I am grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's not about how long you wait or what or if you want to wait or not, it's about
connection.
It's about being there like with each other. Because once you're connected with somebody mentally, physically, and spiritually, and emotionally,
right.
it's like you're it's perfect.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a soulmate.
Yeah.
It's a soulmate.
Time.
Cheers to soulmates.
Cheers to soulmates.
Cheers to soulmates.
Because time shouldn't play a factor to that. Time should, once you meet your soulmate,
like you said, you waited 1 week or two. Whether he wasn't your soulmate or he is, it led to a 4-year relationship, and that's a long time.
Yeah.
For somebody you had sex with 2 weeks in. I can imagine how much sex you guys had in between the 4 years, but I'm saying it's true. Like you could have waited a year. But I have a question for you. Do you feel as if you would have waited like a longer time period, maybe let's say the 90 days, do you think your relationship would have been as long as it was?
I think so, because it was more than sex with us. It was like
you guys were connected.
Mm-hmm. We would talk every single day, and that's one thing. Like if I can have a conversation with you every single day, and I feel like I'm learning something from you, and the man that he is just like I'm drawn to him, regardless of sex, because he's just so like motivational, and he got his shit together. If he doesn't, he's still building, and I like a man like that who wants something more in life. So I was attracted to him even before the sex. 4 years later, you're in a relationship. The sex does, you have to do more things. We will have threesomes and stuff like that. But like, I felt like when it came to me, just me, he didn't put that much of an effort to make me come.
I just connected it back, guys. Sorry, people were telling us that the IG on Wind Down went down. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, no, they went on my live and said hello.
Yeah.
Sorry guys,
sorry.
You missed a lot.
Wait, hold on.
No, but like
I mean, we're it's a few minutes left anyway. But.
So we.
They want to bring in toys or like do extra stuff. Are you willing to accept that?
Yeah.
So basically, what you're trying to say is, are you open to like trying new things with your sexual partner?
Not just like.
But that's what you're saying.
It is, but it's like I'm talking about like toys wise.
Like only toys.
Yeah.
Like toys wise, and like that SMM stuff, that really hardcore, hardcore, 50 Shades of Grey shit, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, if it's something that, my partner wants, and it's like, is something she's serious about, then because I love her, and I care about her, then why not? You know what I'm saying? Because I could not do it, or I could do it, it just really doesn't make a difference. So why not just try new things, to spice things up? Because at the end of the day, there's only so much positions you can do.
Right.
So it's like, it's like if you want to try new things, then try new things.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'd be open to trying new things.
Do you feel like you guys would be open to threesomes?
That's tricky.
I want to hear from guys.
I mean, from my perspective, and all my friends can vouch for that, I'm crazy about sex. Like I'm sex crazy, whatever.
But that's the problem. I'm gonna have to say that I'm not open to it because it's obviously it'll 80% of the time it'll be with somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but are you?
So I don't trust that person.
Is it more of a threesome with your partner and somebody else, or it's just like a threesome, whatever, random?
So when I had threesomes, it was always with my man and somebody else, and we didn't just go for it. We honestly we know not know who the person is, but we've been speaking to that person for a little bit just to see. We hung out with them maybe once or twice just to feel the vibe and everything like that. But yeah, I can honestly I've had sex with more women than I have with men. Because of threesomes.
How many threesomes have you had?
I can't count.
I don't want to talk about how many.
Yeah, because this is
But no, we will refrain from how many partners, how many whatever.
I don't know.
Because that's more private.
No,
I don't mind the threesomes.
I didn't mean like.
Guys is different, but like for threesomes, I don't.
Like I didn't mean it like that way.
No, I've asked her though. I've asked her like,
because
I've asked her, have you had like a threesome with two guys, and she said no. So when she says that she's had more sex with women than men, then I believe her.
Okay, then that.
Because there's always the third party is always a woman for her.
Now there's
Kay goes, people tend to judge way too much as if sex is a bad thing or having several sexual partners is a bad thing, and I don't feel like it is.
It's not.
And then Idiot Ezra says, in America, sex is still very taboo, mostly because of religious beliefs, etc.
Exactly, which is what I was saying with the Hebrew, with the Jewish community. You know, they have their morals, their religious morals are no sex before marriage. So it's like to them they don't really have a choice.
Right.
So they have to wait for marriage for sex. But to me, my question to the Jewish community is, what happens if the sex is not great after marriage? And what if they're not compatible after sex?
Well, I've heard. So there was this Jewish kid that like me and Steph and a few other people know, and he has a wife, but he's
and I'm only talking about the Jewish community because I know them to be the most
and the only reason why I'm speaking about it is because of that situation.
About sex before marriage.
Right. So he's very like especially he says that like they're with that woman or whatever, but they still have sexual partners that are outside of the Jewish community, that are not all of them, I'm sure, but like they're outside of the Jewish community. They're doing their thing too on the side. They act like they're not Jewish. They put their little curls up in the hat and they're good to go.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like in general, whether it's religion or not, people want sex. You want to have great sex. It's maybe not a necessity in your life, but you want to have great sex.
I wanna